flew open and the bailiff came in. He wasn't invited in.
Husband and wife Alex and Sarah run farmers' market stalls selling gourmet foods. But when they disputed a parking ticket, they say that was the start of their lives being turned upside down. Despite following the appeals procedure, they found a bailiff had just walked into their home and wouldn't leave.
The police was asking the bailiff to leave. He wouldn't do it. I was extremely stressed because obviously if you get someone coming your property and you are genuinely totally innocent and you've done actually nothing to deserve it, it's like being mugged.
It was actually so awful. I don't really like to think about it that much anymore because it was probably one of the worst days of my life. And as Alex said, I did pay them in the end, but not because I wanted to, not because it was admitting that we had done anything wrong, but just to get them to go away.
The law is complicated and varies across the UK. In England and Wales, different types of bailiffs have different powers. No bailiff can force their way into your home unless it's a county court bailiff, who are civil servants enforcing county court judgments and evictions. High Court enforcement officers also enforce county court judgments but are not civil servants. And private bailiffs enforce parking fines, child support, income and council tax payments. While many private bailiff companies work within the law, the National Debt-Line says there's a huge problem with those who do not.
These are the private bailiffs we're talking about, instructed by the magistrates' court. So they'll try persuading people, things like, can I use your toilet? Can I step inside a minute while we look at some paperwork? Threatening, do you really want to be in prison?
The police help private bailiffs abuse their powers by often appearing to be backing them up against the debtor, according to the National Debt-Line. The Citizens Advice Service says it's receiving 40,000 inquiries a year about bailiffs. 2/3 of these are for council tax, and it's often private bailiffs using underhand means collecting it. New legislation is being proposed, but it says this won't curb the worst excesses.
What's really very worrying is that, first of all, that there is going to be no independent regulation of bailiffs, and the kind of things that our bureau is seeing means that those sort of issues won't be tackled. Threats to take away children, threats to put people in jail.
Bailiffs say they welcome moves to clarify the law for everyone involved in the system.
I believe that mistakes do happen. Bailiffs are only human. And the whole system at the moment encourages things that shouldn't happen to happen. And we welcome the new regulations that we anticipate possibly next year will encourage good practice rather than bad practice.
The Ministry of Justice says new regulations need to provide more protection against aggressive bailiffs. It's consulted on its proposals, but charities fear the outcome, due in October, still may not protect people from the worst extremes of this industry. Keith Doyle, BBC News.